It's the 11th of February, just gone 6 o'clock, and I'm up this morning in preparation for the Headcorn half marathon. It's a local event in Kent for me. It's going to be the fourth time I'll be running it this morning. The course itself is a really nice flat course, goes all through nice country lanes. You run through nice country roads. There's nice farmland, most houses run about. It's a really nice friendly course. The organisers describe it as having a hill at around 5 miles, and from sort of 8 miles onwards, just undulating hills. The hill at 5 isn't anything too bad based on the hills that I'm running on around here, and I quite find the undulations quite nice. The ups and downs makes a bit of a change from just a purely flat course. It is a very fast course though, and it has PB potential. I ran my PB there a few years ago, which was 1:34:52. So the aim today is to run something around that, if not better it. The strategy for today's race is to go out for the first 10-11 kilometres at a fast pace, but a controlled pace, to still hold some back in the tank, and then the last 10 kilometres, maybe a bit early if I'm feeling good, just to put the foot down and see how fast we can go. And that will probably be my strategy going forward with the marathon as well. What I found in the past is I was going out too hard in the first half, and then in the second half I might not necessarily felt tired, but the pace was dropping away and I lost a lot of time over on that. So we're going to stick to this strategy, which seems to have been working well in the past and working good recently. In regards to preparation for today, I've been eating a lot of carb-based foods during the week, a lot of fresh fruit and veg, and just eating all the right stuff, avoiding all processed foods and bits like that. Yesterday, same sort of strategy I normally have for a run. So in the morning I've had porridge and blueberries, raisins, seeds, bananas, apples, things like that. Lunch, had a pizza, which is my go-to pre-meal, and then in the evening I just had some more pasta, spinach, chicken, bits like that. This morning, what we're going to have some granola, again with blueberries and raisins, same thing that I usually do. We've downed a pint of water in the morning, we've got up, and we're also going to drink a pint of an electrolyte drink, the Sports and Science one, which I'm using at the moment. I did use coconut water previously, but trying to drink a pint of coconut water for a run is not the best idea. In regards to nutrition, because I'm leaving about 2.5 hours before the race starts, about an hour or so before the race. Probably going to take on a banana or some sort of bar just to keep the energy levels up. And it's good because this is going to replicate what's going to be happening when I run the Manchester Marathon, so it'll probably be a good few hours travelling to the event, etc. before we start. In regards to fueling on the actual race itself, a half marathon I wouldn't be too fussed on taking on too much fuel, but we're going to treat this like the Manchester Marathon. So about 10 kilometres there is a water station. Sorry, Binks wants to be in the video again. So there's a water station at 6 miles, so that's where I want to take my first water on in the marathon. So we're going to take some water on there. I'm going to carry 1 gel rounds with me today and take it on about 12 kilometres to replicate what I would do again on the Manchester Marathon. And then I believe there's a water station again about 10 miles. We might take on a bit of water there and see how that works. So it's good preparation for the Manchester Marathon, so we can practice all our food and nutrition before the race and during the race and see how that works. I've got to go pick up Simon, aka the Big Pig, in a minute, who will be running his second half marathon. This is also prep for his first marathon, as he's going to be running the Manchester Marathon with us in a few months too. My mum was due to run this, but she's been ill the last few weeks, so she won't be running. But she's also preparing for her first marathon, and she's running the Manchester Marathon as well. And bearing in mind she's plus 60, play to her. I think that's all it for the minute, so I'll see you on the other side. We just finished the Headcorn half marathon, 1:32 PB with baby Loki. Give us feedback later. Hi everyone, it's now Monday. It's the following day after the Headcorn half marathon. Just finished up in the gym, so we're just going to reflect on yesterday's run and how it went. Purely from a personal point of view and from a time point of view, it went really well actually, really happy with the way it went. We hit a personal best yesterday, which going into the race, I felt I had the possibility of running a PB yesterday, but you never know until you actually turn up on the day and actually do it. A lot can go wrong. But going into the race, the personal best was a 1:34.52. We finished in 1:32.35 according to the race organiser chip time. But on finishing, a lot of the runners were saying there was an extra few 100 metres onto the actual race course. And looking at my race watch and the data from the watch today, there was about an extra 200 metres on there. So going by my watch, I would have been in at just under 1:32. But either way, it's 2.5, 3 minutes off my personal best, so really happy with that. Going into the race, we had a strategy where we was going to run first 10 kilometres at a strong, controlled fast pace, but still leave enough in the tank, so the last 10, 11 kilometres we could push and see how much we had left in the tank. First 4 kilometres of the race went well, maintained the sort of pace I was looking to maintain. Then just after 4 kilometres I started speaking to another runner, just purely because we were wearing the same running trainers, and before you know it, I was sort of running a bit quicker with him without even knowing. He was sort of aiming for about a 1:28. So them 4 kilometres around with him were probably a bit too quick. But overall, it happens in a race, doesn't it, sometimes? But we got to the halfway mark and we were projecting a time of 1:31, around about that sort of time. So it's about where I thought I could be, maybe a little bit too fast. But the second half of the race still felt strong actually. We were aiming to take a gel on at about 12 kilometres, took it a little bit earlier because I felt like I just needed a bit of injection. And that's so important to, when you are running, you go into a race, you have a plan, you want to take water here, you want to take a gel on here. But if your body feels like it needs it earlier or later, just change the strategy as you go around, and it is beneficial. You will feel the benefit of it. But yeah, going back to the race, yeah, from about 11, 12 kilometres, still felt strong, maintained a really good pace. And the minute we hit 10 miles, really opened the legs again and really pushed it. Felt really strong, and it was sort of really nice. Yeah, it just felt really good for the last 3 miles, which was really good. And they were sort of some of the quickest kilometres I ran and the quickest miles at the end, which is what we wanted to do. So yeah, really happy with that. On reflection, I wanted to run the second half slightly faster than the first half, but we ended up running the second half, I think, just under a minute slower. But on reflection, the second half was more hilly, more up and down, so can't really complain too much. And the pace was really constant all the way through, where I've had races before where it really drops off, tails off at the end. So the pace, yeah, really happy with the pace. More importantly, when we finished, still felt really good, didn't feel tired really, felt really fresh. And now I know I can sort of hit them sort of paces and times. I think going into the next half marathon we can push again and go faster. So yeah, really happy with that. Nutrition going into the race, yeah, worked really well. I think it fueled my body perfectly. During the race, nutrition and that, we took some water on 10 kilometres, which we was aiming to do. As we said, we took a gel on slightly earlier than 12 kilometres, so a little bit earlier. I was planning to take on some water about 10 miles, but I felt good at 10 and thought there was only 3 miles left, so we sort of powered through it. Didn't feel like I really needed that, but obviously running the Manchester Marathon, we will take water on then, because that's really important, just to keep hydrated from the early on. Obviously anyone that hasn't run a marathon, little and often sips of water is really important, and you'll feel that sort of later on in the race. It's really sort of worth doing. Shout out to Simon, aka the Big Pig, who ran with us yesterday. He had a really solid run, so he's looking good for the Manchester Marathon as well. Impressed with him. Yeah, just generally really happy with the way the run went yesterday. The race itself, very wet out there. We had a lot of rain sort of a few days leading up to it, so there was a lot of water on the course in certain places. So apart from that, really good weather, very little wind out there. It was about 8-9 degrees, perfect sort of conditions running out there. So yeah, really good course. Personally for me, this sounds a bit cheesy, but one of the best things for me, obviously I'm really happy with the PB, sort of buzzing for that, but one of the best things at the end is to see, obviously my wife Emma was there waiting, and she was waiting there with my little son Logie there. So he's 6 months now, as I said, and that's really good seeing him waiting at the end with his big smile, and it's something I've always wanted to do. So it's the first time he saw me do a marathon when he was about 6 weeks old, but I don't think he really knew what was going on. So it was good to see him at the end with his big smile. So that was quality, really good. But I think that's it for me now. So it's all going well, and I'll keep you posted. And I'll see you on my next run.